Hi everyone, this is Makayla, and recently it was snowing out, so I decided to make some brownies, and the recipe I used was from my great-grandmother, my dad's grandmother, and I've never tried the recipe before, so it was kind of exciting to do. I typed it up a little bit ago, and with it snowing, it just seemed like the perfect day to try this. I will have the recipe typed up in the caption here in case you want to try it yourself, and now that I'm going back and actually editing this video, I can tell you wholeheartedly that these brownies did come out spectacular. So first things first, I did clean up the kitchen a little bit just so the counter wasn't dirty, and put my hair in a braid, put on my apron. Also, I just want to note that this recipe has things like sift the flour, melt chocolate and stuff. I didn't sift the flour, I just melted my chocolate by putting it in the microwave. So long story short, I didn't go full out gourmet on this recipe. Feel free to do that if you want, but this can also be a very quick one bowl recipe if you want it to be. Whatever you end up doing, either way should work. First, of course, you're going to want to get out your trusty 8x8 pan and spray that thing down so that your brownies do not stick to the edges. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. You first want to cream together 1 cup of sugar and 2 eggs. If you're feeling particularly thorough, you can use a mixer. I didn't just because this is an old recipe and it doesn't really require the use of a mixer, and it actually turned out fine with that one. But either way works. Stir it together until it looks like this lovely yellow mixture right here. Next, you're going to want to add flour, either pastry flour or all-purpose flour that's designated for bread and pastries. And you're just going to put in half a cup of this, as well as a dash of salt. After you add those in and mix it all up thoroughly, then you can move on to your wet ingredients. You're going to have to melt 1/3 cup of butter, and then also you have to melt 2 squares of chocolate, which is equivalent to 2 ounces of chocolate. Use any method of melting that you want. I just use a microwave. I do it for 30 seconds, and I stir it, 30 seconds, and I stir it until it becomes a smooth, creamy chocolate mixture. It was still lumpy here at first, so I put it in again, and then when I took it back out, it was perfect. I nearly spilled the entire bowl of batter here. But anyway, once you've added in your melted butter and your chocolate, you can also add in some vanilla and whatever add-ons you want. The recipe calls for a cup of walnuts. I thought that was entirely too much, so I put in about a little bit less than half a cup of peanuts. Usually I don't put peanuts into brownies, but we didn't have any other nuts. These were unsalted, by the way, but it actually turned out amazing, so I'd highly recommend peanuts and brownies. You can also do just more chocolate chips if you want, coconut flakes. I think really anything would work. After that, put your batter into your pan, and of course, let people taste test if they want, because brownie batter is delectable. The recipe says that the brownies need 25 to 30 minutes in the oven. This didn't work for me, and I had to keep them in much longer. I think it's because our oven just bakes a little bit weirdly, so I would just keep an eye on them once you reach that 25 to 30 minute mark. By the way, it was still snowing at this point, so I just thought I'd put in another clip of that. And then if you take out your brownies, and if, like me, when you stick a toothpick into the center, it comes out gooey, and when you stick a toothpick into the sides, it comes out dry, I would suggest putting tin foil around the edges so that way it doesn't burn on the outside. And it was still snowing again, very pretty. And then just keep checking in on it until the toothpick comes out nearly clean, but not quite clean, because then it's just going to be too dry, of course. Here was the final result. I didn't really get a good video. This piece is very messy, but it was delicious. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful time baking.